Hey folks, welcome to another video. I just got done with a little midday workout and wanted to make a video about working out and staying fit outside of just farm work and labor, and some of the benefits I've experienced in my life outside the farm, as well as how that benefits being a farmer as well. I've always been a very physically active person. Perhaps that's part of why I chose farming as a career and lifestyle. But having worked manual labor for most of my adult life, I found that it doesn't stimulate my body and mind in the same way that intentional, rigorous exercise does. I grew up always playing sports, mostly basketball, and in my late teens started getting into weightlifting pretty seriously, and was even doing some powerlifting competitions early on. But I've stuck with a regular exercise routine throughout my 20s on top of whatever manual work I do, and it's largely because I find in periods of my life where that's been absent, I've had really noticeable changes in how I feel physically as well as mentally. Now, I got into weightlifting because it's what was available to me at the time, and I just immediately enjoyed it. We did a bit of weightlifting in high school for sports and just kind of continued to go down that path. And I don't think there's really anything better necessarily about weightlifting than any other type of exercise, whether it's swimming or running or rock climbing or whatever it might be. I think the most important part is just doing something that you really enjoy and that you look forward to, and that it doesn't feel like work. It doesn't feel like something you have to convince yourself to do. And for me, that's just always been weightlifting. So once we moved here to a bit more of a rural place, we decided to outfit a little bit of space we had in the basement of the house with a home gym, so that there was 24/7 access to at least some of the baseline equipment to maintain strength and feel like I'm maintaining a physical fitness and the subsequent mental fitness that comes from that. Pretty simple little home gym setup. We outfitted this whole thing for less than $1,000, and just living rurally and not being super close to any weight equipment at gyms, it's really been awesome to just have this right in the basement, have a little bit of extra space. Just really a squat rack and a couple barbells, a little bench, and then just a collection of a few dumbbells, and it's about all we really need. So I found that I actually exercise primarily for the mental benefit that I receive, with the physical aspects being almost secondary. Any time in my life I've gone through a period of not having access to weight equipment, or maybe just being drawn too thin to get myself to do other forms of exercise, I notice a pretty steep and tangible decline in cognitive ability, memory, mood, and it's something that I have come to terms with. I'm highly dependent on that exercise to feel 100% of myself. And so, it's sometimes at the end of a hard, long farming day or week, it seems like a lot to also do rigorous exercise on top of that. But the trade-off is obvious in my experience, where it's actually more work to not do it because of the brain fog and just overall decline in mental performance when that's absent in my life. I don't sleep as well, I don't feel as good, I don't have as much of an appetite, and there's kind of a trickle-down spiral effect to not exercising in my mind. And it's odd, I'm not sure the physiology behind it, but the manual labor of moving chicken tractors and doing vegetable gardening all summer and moving heavy things around, that doesn't do it for me. It's not, for whatever reason, I feel tired at the end of those types of activities, but I don't feel stimulated in the same way that rigorous exercise does. So that's really the main reason I've kept it as a big part of my life. Now, one of the benefits of doing physical work all the time is that you really don't need, at least I haven't really needed, to do that much of the intentional exercise, as much at least as I would if I had an indoor seated job. I find that whereas when I was in school and working out was my only physical outlet, really, I had to work out 4 or 5 times a week to maintain and gain strength and hit new goals. Whereas when it's a supplement to constant physical effort and manual labor, that's down to 2 times a week. And so I don't have to dedicate a whole lot of time out of my week to set new goals and reach them and get that benefit, both physical and mental, out of working out. For me, I think the goal setting and how tangible that is with really any kind of athletic pursuit, whether that's trying to do a new best time run or a personal record, personal best on any kind of weightlifting exercise, just being able to have really tangible goals that are something you can work towards and record is very fun. It's very satisfying. In farming, there's plenty of goals, but a lot of it is out of your direct control, and a lot of it is a little less tangible than, say, I want to run a 6-minute mile and then making that happen. So it's kind of a nice mental juxtaposition to some of the complexity of farming in that it's such a simple pursuit. And yeah, this is just a topic that really interests me. I think that physical work, and particularly farming, don't have to be mutually exclusive with being an athlete or engaging in regular, rigorous exercise. I'm curious about other folks' experience, and if there are folks who find that balance and what they might do to find that balance where they have time for both, or in the case where some folks might not need the physical work outside of manual labor in the way I feel like I do. That's really interesting as well. So that's it for today's video. Just wanted to kind of talk a little bit about that topic, and I think it's something that could even potentially be a really interesting book project to put together different exercise routines and different stories from farmers all over the world on finding that balance between manual labor and other forms of exercise and some of the benefits that people have seen. I think that being a farmer is a unique lifestyle that both makes it challenging to find the time and energy to do it, but in my opinion also in some ways necessitates physical exercise outside of just the work to have a well-rounded, overall fit, healthy body and mind. At least that's been my experience. So thanks for watching, and please make sure to like the video and subscribe if you want to see more videos, and leave a comment in the comment section below. Thanks so much, and we'll see you next time.